Hi, it's K-Bar User. Well, it's winter time again, and I'm getting time to do some videos, so sorry about the delay. It's been busy. Anyway, last year I was doing a prep for the prep videos. If you haven't seen them, go back into my channel, and from what I'm told by other people, there's a lot of good information in there. So, this is Prep for the Prep Part 12. I've been thinking about a lot of ideas, how the scenarios and everything would go. One thing that I really haven't heard about any of the, crap hits to fan scenarios is vermin. Rats, mice, cockroaches, spiders. Outside of the fact that, you've got to watch who, what, and where's when you're out there, and you don't get hurt, shot, killed, otherwise, whatever. You really got to think about the vermin. If your stores aren't covered up, or they're not in a protective environment where, say, rats can't get to them, or mice, you could lose a lot of your supplies, really. Believe me, rats get into everything. I live next to a farm here, and they've got rats. Alright? I know nobody wants to talk about it, but it's something that happens to a lot of people, and, it's one of them hush-hush things. But they've got rats, so therefore I have a problem with mice and rats at times, especially in spring and summer. Decon. That's, I put down decon all the time. So, yeah, that takes care of that problem. Well, let's just suppose a couple will get through. We'll use that for a scenario. In the past, I've watched a farmer here, plastic barrels, food-grade barrels, put his chicken feed in there, and they've actually ate through the side of the barrel to get to the feed. If that be the case and you have 100 pounds of rice stored up in a food-grade barrel, well, maybe the top portion would be okay where they're not eating, but where they're eating is not going to be good. In worst case scenario, you can use it for bartering, but that's not going to be healthy for you to be chewing on. So that's just one problem. And the other problem is if they do get through a lid, or they do get into the store, the urine, the feces, the matter that they're going to leave behind is going to ruin. Let's just say you had 10 pounds of rice, that's your last 10 pounds, and you happen to notice a red spot or a yellow spot on top of the rice. No, that's not the rice changing color from storage. They carry fleas. They carried the plague through the Middle Ages. They carry rabies. They carry a billion different diseases. The problem with these animals are, mice included, moles, they're too prolific to get rid of. I mean, I literally go through probably $100 worth of decon a month in the summertime. Right now, they're kind of hole up, but... And you can't stop them. They're just a nuisance. I mean, they're everywhere. So, what can we do? One thing I found with my stores, and like I said, I'm not a big prepper. I prep for natural disasters. I have enough food here for a week or two, and water and such, is I hang it. And yes, they can get the hanging food, but not as easy as they can otherwise. So what I do is I run a 2x4 across the storage area I have, and I set that up with traps on top, one after another, and then hang all my stuff. If they happen to run across 2x4, yes, they're going to get smacked, and decrease the population, take care of the problem. Mice are the same way. Rats you can generally see. Mice you generally don't see because they're mostly nocturnal. And mice will destroy stuff just as fast as the rats will. Long term, you're looking at rats, you're looking at mice, cockroaches. Cockroaches are immune to radioactive waste. I mean, you can have a nuclear bomb go off and cockroaches will still live. The best thing to do, honestly, to tell you, is I believe it was the Discovery Channel had a series on. It was I don't remember the name of it, 1,000 Years of Man or something like that. But it dealt with the fact of what's going to happen, 25 years after, 35, 45 years after man dies off. Man just poof, gone. I watched it, and it led me to realize that rats, mice, cockroaches, spiders, snakes, all the insects are going to overrun everything. So in a small term, when you think about it, worst case scenario, and it does hit the fan, these animals are going to multiply like mad because they have the freedom and they have, everything they need. So what I would suggest is they're really cheap. Going to the drugstore and stock up on rubber gloves and alcohol. Just scenario, you happen to run into a grocery store that's not ransacked yet, and you find a couple of canned goods, but they're covered with feces and they're covered with urine from these whatevers. And yes, cockroaches do the same thing. Put your rubber gloves on, sterilize the can with alcohol, or at least put the rubber gloves on, throw it in a bag or whatever you may find or whatever you might have with you. Sterilize it with the alcohol, especially around the lid you're going to open the can with. Whatever side you're going to open the can from, sterilize that can good. Maybe even take, some fire if you have fire and just kind of run it around the can and, get them germs off. Keep the rubber gloves on. Once the can is emptied, disposed of, burn it. And you seriously put it in the fire and burn it. This way here, there's no worry about spreading anything that's on there. Then you can always take the rubber gloves and burn them too, and problem solved. So outside of all the preps that everybody makes, rubber gloves would probably be the best of it all. They're cheap, they're they're disposable. You can use them for cleaning game. You can use them for cleaning up messes that you might run into. You can, like I said, you can use them for protecting yourself from stuff like that. They make you can carry water in them. You can plug up a wound with them. You can use them for a waterproof bandage. You can use them to waterproof your hands playing with stuff. There's 1.5 million uses for rubber gloves, so I would suggest you stock up to get up. I think there's 500 or 100 in a box, something like that. You can't go wrong. Even alcohol prep pads are only like $4.50 a box, and I'm not really sure. This box here I paid $8 for, and there's 200 of them in there. Use sparingly. That's that's a lot of decontamination there. So this K-bar user, it's prep for the Prep 12. Just if you're going to be out there and you're going to have stores, bear in mind of the vermin that could get into it and the diseases that could be spread from these animals. As far as other things are concerned, this might turn some people's stomachs, so please, viewer discretion is advised on this. Once the meat is cooked, and cooked thoroughly all the way through, it kills off the diseases. So if you're using rubber gloves, the handles say it said rats and mice. They are edible. And no, they don't taste like chicken. They kind of taste like squirrels. Also, don't forget your common domestic animals, dogs, cats, any kind of food in a survival situation or that kind of situation there where there is no food coming in anymore is food. You got to think about this, and you got to be willing to do what you need to do. So, this is K-Bar User. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. And we'll see you on part 13 coming up very soon. Y'all have a good day now.